Hi, Miss Carla here. I'm going to read you a story today called This Is Our House by Michael Rosen, and it's illustrated by Bob Graham. So check out their house. It's made out of a box, just like you guys have been making buildings out of boxes. George was in the house. This house is mine, and no one else is coming in, said George. It's not your house, said Lindy. It belongs to everybody. No, it doesn't, said George. This house is all for me. Lindy and Marley went for a walk over to the swings. It's not George's house, is it? Said Lindy. Of course it isn't, said Marley. Lindy and Marley looked in the window. It's not your house, George, and we're coming in. Oh, no, you're not, said George. This isn't for girls. Ugh, Freddie was walking past with Rabbity. There's his rabbit. I've come to put Rabbity to bed, said Freddie. You can't, said George. This house isn't for small people like you. George isn't making very many friends, is he? He doesn't want to share. Freddie took Rabbity for a ride in the car. Charlene and Marlene fixed the front wheel. George won't let me and Rabbity in the house, said Freddie. Charlene and Marlene, Freddie and Rabbity headed straight to the house. Stop right there, said George. He's probably not going to let them in either, is he? We're coming in to fix the fridge, said Charlene and Marlene. Oh, no, you're not, said George. This house isn't for twins. Luther's jumbo jet landed in the house. He went to get it. Where do you think you're going? Said George. Well, Flight 505 has crashed, said Luther, and I'm coming in for the rescue. Fire, fire, wee-oo, wee-oo. Oh, you're not coming in here, said George. Everybody's pretending, but George won't let anybody in. Luther radioed for help. Calling Dr. Sophie, calling Dr. Sophie. Can I help you? Said Sophie. We can't get at the plane, Doctor, said Luther. Leave it to me, said Sophie. So Sophie and Luther pushed through the crowd. Make way for the doctor, said Luther. We're coming in, said Sophie. Oh, no, you're not, said George. This house isn't for people with glasses. Man. Rashida had a plan. I'm going to tunnel in, she poked her head under the house. Go away, said George. This is my house. Well, this is my tunnel, said Rashida. Well, tunnel somewhere else, said George. This house isn't for people who like tunnels. Oh, gosh, George isn't letting anybody in there. So George is in there all by himself, but all these friends are playing and pretending. George doesn't look very happy in there by himself. It was getting very noisy around the house and hot, and George wanted to go to the bathroom. I'm going to leave my house now, said George, and no one can get in when I'm gone. Do you think they're going to listen? What do you think? Do you think they'll go in while he's gone? And George went to the bathroom. What do you think? So Lindy, Marley, Freddie, Rabbity, Marlene, Charlene, Luther, Sophie, and Rashida went straight into his house. George came back. There was no room for George. This house isn't for people with red hair, said Charlene. Uh-oh. Do you think they'll let George in? George started to shout, and George started to cry. George started to stomp his feet and kick the wall. Then he stopped and he looked. This house is for people with red hair, said George, and for girls and small people and twins, and for people who wear glasses and who like to tunnel. Because, shouted Lindy, Marley, Freddie, Marlene, Charlene, Luther, Sophie, and Rashida, this house is for everyone. So George made it in. So what do you think? I think they found out that it's more fun when everybody gets to play. And that was This Is Our House by Michael Rosen.